早くしなさい。オーケー。Let's go!
Hello.
Oh, hello, Zorak. Braxton,
I am very attracted to you.
I can hurt you.
Waka chicka wow.
Come up here.
Everybody sit down.
Greetings, Colonel.
I said sit down! Now, you know how I don't like to use the sit-down gun, but this morning we just don't have time for mucking about. Major Allied cities have come under attack
Nazis?
Close your mouth. All right, let's get straight to the biscuits. At 0800 hours this morning, an American soldier was eaten by a Nazi dinosaur.
That's a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
No, Claire, that's a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Try thinking first before you open your mouth.
Hello. And welcome back to the channel. How's everybody doing tonight? That's right. We have ourselves a delicious hot dog stuffed pizza from Pizza Hut. Do you know what I'm saying? This Pizza Hut in the pizza crust. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's what's for dinner. You know what I'm saying? So right here in the darkness, waiting, lurking, haunting your every step, your visions in the night. That's right. It's a Pizza Hut hot dog stuffed crust pizza. Woo! You know? And so, as a reporter, as a man who finds the news, hunts the news, tracks the news, do you know what I'm saying? As a guy who goes out there, man on the street, gets it done. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm gonna show you, and I'm gonna dispel all rumors, fabrications, falsehoods that have been spread about this pizza. Right? Some people are out there saying, is the hot dog a full circle? Does it encompass the entire crust? I have news for you. No, it doesn't. There are several hot dogs in the crust. The ends are visible when you bite into it. You can go, oh, look, that's the end of the hot dog. You know what I'm saying? You know exactly what I'm saying. Everybody knows exactly what I'm saying. So here's the thing, right? Without further... Listen, there are horrible people out there. Hello, Sumo Thori. Speaking of, rolling into these chats, spreading lies, falsehoods, fabrications about these pizzas. And I, for one, will have none of it. Thus, we're sliding over here, Sumo Thori. Young Sumo. I'm going to slide over here. Possibly fall and die, but not really, right? We're going to slide. We're going to slip, dip. A little young Pip, you know? We've got ourselves a large Pizza Hut pizza. Oh, look, the steel keeps resealing, right? Sealed at the hut, opened by me. You know what I mean? Okay, so here we are. I've already eaten a couple pieces on the drive home, and trust me, it was for science. Okay, I had to know. Okay, see this? Look at this. This is what we're doing here. Right here, hot dog. See how there's these weird inconsistencies? No hot dog right here. Do you want to know why? This is the real science that you're going to get. When the hot dog is opened, it has the end on it. See, I'll get another light in here. It has the end on it. It's just a regular hot dog. I'm going to put in my mouth. You know what I'm saying? So, as these hot dogs progress, they're tiny little ways. Right? This is like, you're only going to get this on this channel. Right? This is the hot dog. It's got the end. It's got the end of the hot dog on it. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. You know? And they smell delicious. I don't know what it is, but they're delicious. It made my car smell amazing. So, you know, thin crust, got pepperoni, mushroom, green pepper, you know, and it turns the whole thing, see, in here, where the hot dog cooks. It's a deliciousness that unfolds, right? Pizza, you know, and then I eat it, and you can't see me eat it. But trust me, I'm eating it. It's so good. Now, here's the weird thing, right? I'm gonna slow roll over here to my other camera, because this is the only way. This is the only way it can be done. Okay, I've got the pizza, but here's the problem, right? Here's the problem. Man, that light's so bright. It's unreal. Okay, here's the problem with this pizza. If you eat 3 slices of this pizza, you're eating 3 hot dogs plus pizza, right? Like because the hot dog, like this is essentially a hot dog bun, right? Like you're essentially getting a bun. God damn it. Okay. Hello. Okay, here we go. God damn. So you're essentially eating like a hot dog in a bun and a slice of pizza, right? And they also gave a bag with little packets of ketchup and mustard, right? Like little Heinz things for the hot dogs, right? Like so you could like squirt it on or whatever. Anyway, you know, it's just how it is. So anyway, they exist. It's real. And I went on the ground to report. You know what I'm saying? Now, well, this is a smaller piece, but like, look, Sumo, goddamn it, fucking. And I got pizza shit on my hands. I'm a real human boy. You know? Okay, hold on. Go over here. See this slice of pizza, Sumo? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I'm trying to find something that's sizable. Hold on. Okay, let's see. If I take this thing of Tosca's and put it here. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's still a decent size. So the crust, this wiener. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's still a decent size. Like, there's still a hot dog in there. You know? You know? It's like still, yeah. Anyway, this is the reality of the situation, right? Who knows? Listen, I'm just here reporting on the ground about this pizza. And that's all I'm saying. What up, G1 Mech? How you doing? Okay, G1? let's just put it out here. There was rumors, there was falsehoods about the hot dogs in these Pizza Hut hot dog stuffed pizzas. How's my reporting lacking? I am out here on the street. There's a hot dog in the crust. I showed you that they are full, regular hot dogs just stuffed into the crust. This is science-based reporting. There is meat on that pizza. It's under the cheese. This, look, this is God damn it, Sumo, look. That is pepperoni. Pepperoni. Oh. See, that's pepperoni. That's green pepper. That's mushrooms. Do you know what I'm saying? Oh, for fuck's sake, get out of here. You put, the cheese goes over top of every other thing. The meat goes in there with the sauce and it's cradled, it's blanketed, it's tucked in for the night. Do you know what I'm saying? Hey, Emo Trash, what's going on? Scamps, I see you there. They're not God, I swear to God, these mushrooms are delicious. Yeah, I'm out here doing the Lord's work. I'm telling you about these slices of pizza that have hot dogs in them. This is real. This is the realest reporting. Pepperoni goes, oh, are you kidding me right now? Why would you want your meat on top of the cheese? That's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. The meat goes under and the cheese gets baked and crunchy on the top, right? Like you get this like kind of crispy little layer and then all the meat's under there and all the juices of the meat are all in with the sauce and the cheese. What are we doing here? Why? I don't understand this. Like I feel attacked right now. I feel like as a man who's lived with his pepperoni, his bacon, his sausage under a layer of cheese. No, meat goes under the cheese. I hate this for you guys. This is the worst thing I've ever heard about. Why would anybody do that? You should obsess over meat juice. The juice soaks in. Like if you've got a barbecue chicken pizza, the barbecue chicken is under there with the sauce and the cheese is on top of it. You're not putting the barbecue chicken on top of the cheese. You're monsters. Why would you dry out the cheese? This is the most outrageous thing I've ever heard. Like I'm no. It's bad. I don't like what anybody's doing here. You don't put the meat on top of the cheese. Why would you want to dry out the meat? This is the craziest thing I've ever heard. Oh, it's not soggy. If your pepperoni is soggy under the blanket of cheese, that's not how that works. Not how it works, boys and girls. Emo. I can't believe what I'm seeing and or hearing right now. Do you know what I mean? Here's the worst part. This is the part that I hate for me and for you. I've been on a full like keto diet for like 3 months now. I'm eating carbs and bread right now for science, for journalism, for the integrity of what must for fucking pepperoni underneath a soft blanket of cheese. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that is why I'm out here. I'm not here just to let you guys run slipshod all over the place. Yes, bread is carbs. Pizza, like, carbs are, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Diets are not performative. You know what's performative, Noah? Fucking uploading rap videos and not shipping your book. You know what I mean? That's performative, right? doing warm-up videos, posting them online, doing fake rap videos and posting them online. Listen, this, look, there was once a hot dog cradled in there, and then it's like, boop, now it's in my mouth. You know what I mean? You know? And that's the satisfaction that I get from my pepperoni being under the cheese. You know? Anyway, long story short, it's not bad. You know? Would I suggest that you run out and put hot dogs? Sumo, I'm gonna look at the... You know what I'm saying, Sumo? That's right. Anyway, long story short, review... Review of this pizza. It's okay. Do you like hot dogs? Most people do. Do you like pizza? Most people do. Put them together. Scams. Anyway. So, long story short, it's all right. Do you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. It's okay. It's okay. I would eat it again, but would I go out of my way to get it again? Probably not. Like, do you know what I mean? If I happened to be there and I seen it, I'd be like, maybe I'd get one. But that's it. You know? Listen, chat. You guys need to calm down. You know what I'm saying? You guys need to calm the hell down. Anyway, it's all right. That's all I'm saying. Listen, that might have to happen. You know, light up the stage, drop these chumps like a candle. You know. Well, here's the thing, Mark. You could do it yourself, right? Like, you could make a pizza at home. Stuff some hot dogs in there. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this chat's hilarious. Hold on. Buzz, when I do the wraps, I'm gonna wear this, right? Like, I have to be like, I have to be like, you know, doing that. You know what I'm saying? I have to roll deep with my crew. You know what I'm saying? I think you do. Anyway, long story short, it's okay. Have the pineapple on pizza haters found a new enemy? Me? Listen, guys. I'm out here reporting on the street. I am not the enemy. Do you know what I'm saying? No, I'm not the enemy. I'm not riding dirty. I'm picking up clean pizzas. You know what I'm saying? That's all there is to it. That's all I can say. It's just how it goes. You know? Yeah, see, at least I'm still watching Gatchaman. Like that's what I'm saying. We've got the 90s Gatchaman looking great. Same studio that did Kite, by the way. Good stuff. Like this crust. Pretty good. Mm-hmm. You know? Sounds like propaganda. Listen, I'm the best looking man you've seen eating pizza today. Get out of here. There's no propaganda. Just how it is. Listen, none of these wieners are crusty. I mean, some of the people in the chat might be crusty, but we're good. Okay, that's fair. For you know, ever is fair. You know, just how it is. I'll agree. I'll agree with you guys, right? I'll agree. You know, just how it is. But yeah, I'm actually going to draw. This is going to be an art stream. I got sketch covers. I got things I could be doing. So we're going to do that. You know, but I figured the controversy, the falsehoods, the fabrications that were out on these virtual streets about this pizza. I'm gonna wash my hands. Don't be like that. I'm not gonna, you know. Yeah. These little tootsies are gonna get washed. It's gonna be fine. It's okay. It's cool. Hopefully the stream is running. I got some kind of widget error, but that's fine. That's fine. All right, here, I'm gonna go wash my hands. I'm gonna go move this pizza box. I'm gonna play a video. I'm gonna play a video for you, and then I'll return. You know what I mean? That's all. That's all I'm saying. I'm not wiping them on my pants like a man. Stop that.
Feel the rhythm in my chest tonight. Electric sparks under stadium lights. I've got a secret, I hold the key. It's a power you won't believe. Turn it up, turn it down, let it roll. I've got that nipple control. Nipple control, oh let it go. With just one touch, I'm running the show. Twist and turn, let the music flow. Nipple control, yeah. Now you know, yeah. Now you know, yeah. Soft whispers flow through the air. Nipples so hard it's beyond compare. Nipples pop like they got no shame, but the beat's to blame, yeah. The beat's to blame. It's a dance revolution on your chest. Who knew these moves would be the best? Shimmy left.
Okay, I'm back. Hands washed. Orange cream ghost. Ready to wash all that down. This should be your favorite song. It's just how it is. You know? Just how it goes. But yeah, hopefully everybody's having a good night. What do you mean? What did you come back to? This is the realest stream you're ever gonna see. This is reality unfolding, right? Okay, no. Do you guys want me to explain how the AI stuff works? Okay, so one, you have to know how a song works, right? Like you have to understand that there's like an opening and a bridge and a pre-chorus, all that kind of stuff, right? Like you're writing the song, right? And you're more It's like more like directing, right? Like you could do it in a. God damn it, Sumo. I didn't want to lecture. I'm gonna ask you a question and then get upset with the answer. Motherfuckers! I swear to God. Anyway, so yes, you have to write the song like an actor. You have to understand the song mechanics. You know what I'm saying? Just how it is. What? Your friend watched part of my stream and says no amount of American maxing will remove the ootage from my accent. She says you say a boot. Yeah, but I'm also not retarded. Like, do you know what I mean? I say about. I don't say a boot. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not cranky. See, that's the thing, right? Like, I'm in actually a really good mood. You know what I mean? It's just how it is. Yes, Sumo, I wrote all of those lyrics. I also wrote all the lyrics for the Sumo Throat Punch song that starts the Sumo streams. The nipple control song I also wrote to end the Sumo streams. Is that branded? No. This is my Godzilla Cross Misfit shirt. You know, it's Godzilla Cross Misfits. On the back it says Kaiju Club. Yeah, you know. And so yeah, it's a weird cross promo with everyone's favorite band, the Misfits, and everyone's favorite monster, Godzilla. You know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm very pleasantly full of hot dogs. They were good, you know. But yeah, it's good stuff. Let's see what's happening here. Hey, Silver Comet, what's going on? How you doing? Seeing people popping in the chat. But yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna do a sketch cover, I guess. You know? Why not? All right, I'm gonna slip over here. I'm gonna slip into something a little more comfortable. No. Get out of here. That's my rock band mic. You know what I'm saying? And here's the other fun thing. I don't think you can see it. The pizza. I put the pizza box on them, and the paper towel. But there's a rock band drum kit and guitars back there. But you know, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Who knows? Who knows what shenanigans might happen for a game night or whatever. All right, I'm going over here. Traditional drawing time. I'm gonna remember to take my mic with me. Maybe. Huh? All right. Let's do this. Boop. Do. You know? What a beat! What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. All right. We're over here. We're at the desk. Last stream, we did this, right? You know, that was the art that unfolded in a brisk yet subtle manner. Okay, I got to pull this over here so I can see the chat. You know what I'm saying, chat? I care enough to see you and say, hey, what's going on? Okay. Now, yeah, Battle of the Planets is excellent. I'm a big Gotcha Man Battle of the Planets fan. Classic. There's cords and cables everywhere. It's chaos. Okay, so yeah. So, that's what we did last time. All right. This time, today. Yeah, I gotta see you to ignore you. Today, on what might be considered worth more than gold, an absolute Batman all-in #1 sketch cover. That's right. So, we've got ourselves Absolute Batman all-in-one. We've got Catwoman with her gun, her tail extension. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna ink this puppy up. And if I have time, I might color it. If I don't do it on here, I'll do it elsewhere, and then I'll just post it online. You know, that's how it is. Just how it goes. All right, we're gonna slide this under, so we don't get nothing comes through. I'm gonna grab a selection of pens. We got a Tombow Mono. We've got a Unipen. We've got a beautiful Fude, and we're gonna take this Faber-Castell. We got our eraser. We threw everything on. We threw everything on with a luscious carmine red. Listen, don't worry about it, Mark. You gotta get out here. You gotta be excited about this Venus Coal Erase carmine red pencil made from the bugs. Right, to gingerly put this on here. I prefer these old school. I bought these specifically, these old ones, because the mechanical lead ones feel very waxy. God damn it. This chat is heinous. It's disgusting. I'm just a real human boy out on these streets, getting what I would call harassed. You know? I had a piece of paper that I was marking on to make sure my pen was feeling good. Oh, there. Yeah. Oh, and there was the Catwoman. That was the Catwoman from the power outage, you know? That one there. I'm looking for paper. Marky up. Oh, there we go. I'm like, where's my little cheat? Right? I like to see how the line's feeling before I use it, and then go, nah. I want something a bit different. You're not a fan of this Absolute Catwoman's helmet. Yeah, that's fair. I am suddenly led to question your human. Listen, don't do it. Don't question my anything. You know what I mean? I'm just here being unquestionable. And that's all there is to it. That's all I'm saying. It's the FM brush. I'm looking for... Where am I 03? God damn. See, I got home kind of late and didn't really have time to set this up. And then there was the pizza. There we go. There's the 03. And then we're here. Right? That's all I'm saying. You do what you want. Damn. What am I supposed to do about that? What am I supposed to do with that info? All right. Let's just get in here and not worry about anything that anybody else is doing. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. And then we got we're going to get a little touch of that on there. You know what I mean? Yeah, did you not see that chain? God damn, do I have to get in here? Do I have to, like, drop these hard chains? Do you know what I mean? And just, like, so you recognize? Do I have to be like, mother, blah, blah, blah. Hey. No? I didn't think so, but fine. That's how it is. That's how it is. You know? Do. That's all I'm saying. Hold on for a sec. I need to look at something. I don't care, actually. Never mind. I was going to look at something because I was like, oh, I don't remember if I did that or whatever, but I don't care. I don't care. You know? That's all there is to it. I will say that my orange cream is over here being very creamy. That's it. But yeah, I hope everybody is having a good night. You know, some of us are out here, you know, doing the real work. Getting on the street, ground and pound news reporting, you know? That's it. That's all I'm saying. And other of us are out here, you know, just not appreciating how real these streets are, you know? That's it. Listen, that's the truth. You know what I mean? You need that. You need that combo. Right? And if you don't want that combo, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Do. Okay, we're gonna whip up here. But yeah, hopefully everybody's having a good night. You know what I'm saying? Whoa. 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 Holding down all that meat. Wow. Incredible. Okay. Do. But yeah, hopefully everybody's having a good night. You know, I did some rocking and rolling around, picked up a few things. Picked up a went to the art store, picked up a large Itoya art portfolio, 11 by 17, you know, to put some sweet pieces of goodness in. It's kind of too hard to see, you know, but it is what it is, you know. It's an art portfolio. And I'll put things like this in it, you know. Oh, Noah, young Noah, look what I found. We have a Todd McFarlane Prince of Persia Before the Sandstorm cover. You know what I'm saying? Interesting. This book also is pretty cool. There's some really interesting art in here. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I just thought of that. All right, let's get back to this. Let's get back to this later. You know, see what she's up to. Get in there. But yeah, they did some weird stuff with Catwoman. They doubled up all her gear and her tail and all this wonkiness. Do. Throw this down. But yeah, aside from exciting pizza news, you know, it was a pretty, you know, regular day. You know, went and got some groceries, did some traveling around. You know, looked at some art stuff, bookstore, you know, the regular stuff. You know, and then we're back here. We're reviewing pizza, and we're Drawn sketch cover, you know, that's how it goes. The regular, the usual. You know? Just how it goes. Alright, let's go. Yeah. Just it. Do 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 do. All right, so we'll pull all our lines. Did my chat completely die? What's going on here? No, apparently it didn't. It's just going. All right, cool. Let's get in here. Pull these so I can keep it going. And, just concentrating on my cat. Okay. Listen, sometimes I get like weird errors in the Clip Studio thing. And so I don't know if anything's actually happening because it'll say like, oh, there's a whatever. And I look over and the chat seems to be fine. And then other times I look over and it's fucked up. So I have to check, right? I can't just assume that everything's cool. You know what I mean? Get in here. So yeah, I gotta occasionally make sure. I gotta look up, you know. Not Clip Studio, OBS Studio. Sorry. You know how it is. Yeah. Man, no, I'm not amped up on anything yet. When this kicks in, it'll be great, though. I'll be less tired. That's for sure. Long day. All right. Let's keep going. Let's keep going, girl. But yeah, I'm messing around with some interesting stuff for some like prints and stuff like that I'm doing, and those should be fun. Got some fun ideas. And I like to see things. Work out. Damn, you did your taxes. I mean, that's good though. You know, get them taxes done. And then hopefully you get a return. You know? That's fair. That's fair. Alright, let's... let's pull it and worry about it later. You know what I mean? Oh, damn. Damn, no refunds. All right. Do not redeem it. Jeez. I see. I see how it goes. I see how it goes. Yeah, I don't know. I like a good refund. Man, there's a cord under my desk that's driving me. All right. Move this cord. I've been trying to clean and move stuff around, organize and sort. And you know, you just set something somewhere and then you go, oh, goddamn. Why is this thing haunting me now? Well, that's just how it is. Just how it is. Yeah, listen. These cords just, you know, getting in the way, as they do. But yeah, you know how it is. These cords, one cord to another, yada yada. Okay, we gotta make sure we get these collarbones here. They need to be noticeable. I need to see them. You know what I'm saying? Do. But yeah, no, it's good. It's a good time. I'm getting out of the house. I'm going to get some pizza, some weird pizza. You know, sometimes you gotta. I'm gonna black fill all those, so I'm not worried about that. Nice parts, eh? Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the way he does like a lot of his stuff in the book, like the Nick Dragotta guy. He does like negative space in weird ways, or he'll just block certain things out that I definitely wouldn't do, like if I was drawing it. But I find maybe his instinct to do it interesting, and so I was like, just looking at the way he was rendering some of her and some of the panels, and it's also like weirdly like inconsistent. Like, so he'll do certain things in a panel and then just doesn't consistently do it in the panel, and so you're just kind of like, like in the next panel, like, right, like, you know, he'll just kind of do things and you're like, oh, that's neat, and then he sort of just kind of moves on from it, and you're like, all right, why didn't you stick with that this whole way? So yeah, so just like, just draw the nips and call it done. Damn, what's going on, Sheldon? How you doing? Listen, sometimes you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta draw the nips and call it a day. You know? Yeah. Right? Right? Alright, now I'm gonna do this. Yeah, you missed the pre-show, Sheldon, where we reviewed pizza. I mean, come on. You can SMH all you want. We know the reality. Do 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 do. Doom, 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 doom. But yeah, I think this might be the first time you've been here, Sheldon. Last couple of streams we did some Red Sonja, Catwoman, you know, all kinds of other fun sketch covers like Godzilla, stuff like that, you know. All the good stuff. You know how it is. You know how it is, Sheldon. You know what it's like. But yeah, hopefully everybody's having a good night, you know. Out here trying to have some fun. Get some sweet sketches in. You know how it is. Yeah, so we got this interesting overlap here, where the tail twists. Oh, thanks, Sheldon. We try, you know what I mean? Always trying something different, trying something, you know, get going. I think one of the other last ones was like a Shin Godzilla sketch cover on one of the Godzilla versus Kong versus Justice League, you know. So we mix it up, you know. Trying to find a place to not smudge, you know what I mean. Trying to stay away. this. Okay. Do 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 do. I mean, that'd be nice, Sheldon, wouldn't it? Do-do. All right, we're working our way up towards this gun. Do, 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 do. All right, we got our swoops. Got our swoops done. Do do do. Let's go over here. But yeah, you know, it's going. We're getting there. The slow roll continues on. I'm gonna go too shallow. But yeah, I'm gonna fill all this stuff in black to offset the way, like she, kind of like similar to the way she's done in the book. I like it, the kind of hard black on the gray suit. And then I'm gonna hit it with some white highlights where the ears cut into the logo, you know. So, you know, a little bit of pre-planning, you know how you do. That's how it goes. You think about these things. Damn, your stream just kicked you. Well, you know. Maybe it's trying to tell you something. It's like get going. You know? Just how it goes. Just how it goes. But yeah, I think that should be pretty cool. Let's see here. Yeah, we gotta cut that in. Right? Yeah, so this is gonna pull there, her jaw comes up. You know? Yeah, exactly. Right? The streams just like beat it. I think I have. We got an excess here. Yeah. Get in there with the little itty bitties. Yeah, I might as well do that since I'm here. Yeah. All right, let's get. Hey, Phil, what's going on? Do not oversize them. Damn. All right. Try not to. Also, how you doing tonight, Phil? What's going on? All right. In here. What's going on, KSS? How you doing? Just say no to listen. Also, you guys missed. You know, you guys missed. You guys missed the Pizza Hut stuffed hot dog crust pizza review. You guys missed that at the start. I'm just telling you. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't blame you specifically, right? But that's it. I'm just telling you. That's what's up. You know? You know, I'm sure that something much more exciting was happening. And then you guys were like, and then you came here, right? It was actually pretty good. My honestly, like my own, and what's cool is like they gave you a little bag full of ketchup and mustard packets, which entertained me, you know, because I thought it was funny. I was like, that's cute. But yeah, no, it's pretty good. Let's see, hot dog is meant for the finer things like being diced out and put in a cheese mac. Fair. G1 Mech, you're building your RC kit. Need to reduce your backlog before I buy more. Oh, that's cool. There was a hot minute where like there was like an RC store around here that like I was like super into like RC kit cars and like all the like rally cars and stuff like that, and there was like gas powered cars and stuff. I was like, that shit is cool. But it's one of those things, like sometimes you gotta pick a lane, and I was like, I can't be into 5 hobbies and RC cars. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you kind of gotta choose your violence, you know what I mean? And so, yeah. That was it. I'm not telling you to stay in your lane, Sumo. I'm telling you that, like, sometimes 5 lanes is too many. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you gotta say to yourself, hey, you know, I don't need to be in all these lanes. I'm just gonna pick one, you know? You know, like some of us, you know, can draw. Some of us can rap. Some of us can ship our books. You know? Pick a lane. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You know? Pick a lane. That's it. You know? I don't think I'm asking for a lot. See, here's the thing. I don't even think they could ship their wraps. That's also a problem. Like, it's like if you're just gonna like fucking bumblefuck around and not do any of them seriously, like you don't have any credit, right? Like if you were out on the streets doing battle raps and owning fools, I might be like, man, I get why he's not shipping that book. It sucks, but he's fucking awesome. He's destroying people at the rap game, but he's not even doing that. He's just putting these damn little handicap raps up online and then being like, oh, watch me also do a warm-up video. Where's my book, bro? I don't care about any of that other shit. You know? That kind of stuff. I'm just over it. That's it. You know? Man, this thing got dry. You know what I'm saying? Zeppelin Hobbies was the hobby shop I first discovered Warhammer at. They had RC car stuff, and I got supplies from them for my Pinewood Derby car. Yeah, like, when I was going to college, there was this really cool hobby shop that had, like, RC cars and, like, model kits and, like, a lot of World War II kits and all this other kind of stuff like that. And it was awesome. Right? Like, and how all the Tamiya paints and all that kind of stuff like that. And I just was like, I was just so in love with that stuff because I love building things. I love models and all that stuff as well. The Nostalgic Blast. Wait, no, okay, no, wait, hold on. The Nostalgic Pod Blast is saying hi from Atlanta. How you doing? What's going on? How goes it today? Hopefully you are doing well. But yeah, I don't know, like I have a bunch of model kits. Like I have like a giant Godzilla, it's like a 16-inch ginormous Godzilla model kit that I got to put together. Here, hold on a second. Hold on. I'll show it because it's like in my vicinity at the moment. So I got this giant Polar Lights Godzilla model kit that I'll probably build on stream, right? Like, makes all kinds of noise, but like it's all like big honking pieces of plastic, right? And like I took it out of the thing and I was looking at the parts, like that's just his tail. It's huge, right? And so yeah, I wanna build him in like, you know, full custom paint and the whole bit. Listen, I can't stop bragging about my 16-inch Godzilla, you know? But yeah, anyway, it's cool. Like I do really like that stuff, right? And I wanted to get like a large Godzilla figure. They're crazy expensive. Oh yeah, I'm 100%. I'm gonna paint it, dry brush it, the whole bit, right? Like gonna go in, hit him with the flat black, and then do like a dry brush green on it so that you know that it pops. Yeah, the whole thing. We're gonna go hard. We're gonna go hard in the paint, G1. We're gonna go hard in the paint with the paint. It's gonna be good. Yeah. I'm stoked. Like, I started building it. I never finished it, and I'm gonna do that on stream. I have an Astro Boy kit with also the repair bay that I have to build on stream. I'll show you. I've already built it. Okay, G1, you'll like this. Okay, so here we go. We got this really sweet, and he was like all these little tiny parts, like all these little things clip into this. All like he was like really cool. So this is like the Astro Boy, right? And like, see, yeah, like, and he's all like cool joints and stuff. And then I'll show you the coolest thing about this Astro Boy that I love is that, like, if you do this, where's that? Maybe his batteries are dead. This soon? Aw, his batteries are dead. He's sat so long and done so little. Damn. Okay, never mind. I can't show you his cool thing. He had these, like, when the batteries worked. I know, right? It has been however long. You could put the magnet to him and it would turn the lights on. So, yeah, they're dead. Okay, but anyway, cool. But anyway, I'll have to finish them. Don't worry about it. But yeah, I'm going to do a stream of that too where I finish building him and building his repair bay. But yeah, he's pretty cool. He's actually pretty big too. That's the thing. Like, if you think about how big, you know, this comic is, he's a pretty big Astro Boy figure. Anyway, back to drawing. Damn. Yeah, listen, one kaiju at a time, exactly. We got all kinds of stuff. Yeah, Rodan, Gigan. All the heroes, you know, all the warriors are showing up. Goddamn. It's the worst part. See, you let the air get to them when you're not using them. They just dry up immediately. You know? You throw bones in the alley with Rodan. Damn. That's cool. Why am I not throwing bones in the alley? Why am I like this? You know? So that's a question I ask myself every day. Why are we here? Because we're here. Roll the bones. You know? Have a good night, Sumo. Take it easy. Just gonna hit this to give it some depth. It might have been, you know. Sumo is as kind as he is temperamental, you know? That's all I'm saying. Okay, here's the thing. Now, is the ham like a honey ham or a cured ham? You know, what are we talking about now? Is the lamb like from like a Lebanese like spiced like cuisine shop? Like what are we talking here? Honey ham. Okay, now it's a honey ham, but what are we doing here? What is the lamb? How is the lamb prepared? Like, are we what kind of spices are we talking here? You know, I need to know. Like a leg of lamb cooked with garlic. Cooked with garlic, and the other one's a honey ham. Yeah, like the thing is the honey ham, you're kind of getting that like sweet and savory with the honey ham, and then the lamb is like garlic, right? Like, and you're getting that like garlic richness and spice, right? Like, yeah, I'm gonna say probably go with the honey ham, right? You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing. I'm actually KSS. I'm actually a big Gamera fan as well. I have like the Gamera 2000 PS1 game. I have all the Gamera films. You know, I have the Arrow releases on Blu-ray. That whole bit. But yeah, I'll pull some fun things out. I haven't done these are things that are going to happen in the future. I'm going to do some videos on this artworks of Torisawa, the Attack of Toho monsters. I also have this incredibly sick right here Cole Narita and his designs for like Ultraman and stuff. Super awesome. Like, and this is thick. It's like, you know, it's like a Bible. You know what I'm saying? Sick stuff. Hey, what's up, Genko? How you doing? Yeah, I did. And then, you know, if you want to keep it classic, you know, you want to stay classy, you want to do some cool stuff, I got The Art of Bob Peak, you know? And then, and listen, and only then, and then, because listen, you got to, as an artist, you can't just look at one thing. You can't just look at comic books, right? You can't just look at cartoons or manga or whatever, right? You got to look at life drawing. You have to look at other illustrators. You have to look at design. You have to look at painters, right? You have to understand light and shadow. You know, you have to get in there, like, you know. So little Robert McGinnis as well, you know. I'm all about it. And then, like, you know, I'm not gonna. And I'm also, here's the thing, I'm also not gonna like turn a blind eye to my boy. You know? That's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna turn a blind eye to my boy. That's what I'm talking about. You know? And here we go. Here, listen, I'm not even done yet. Exactly. Everything should be a reference. Little record of Lotus War. Oh, look at these background, these matte paintings. Like this stuff, like, you know what I mean? Like you need to look at all this. I'm going to do a video on this book. This book's excellent. You know what I mean? You need to look at everything. You need to, you know, you need to touch everything. Got this also. Terminator, the original comic series, Tempest, the one-shot. There's some great like pacing and paneling and stuff like that in here. Like and this is a really cool edition of this book, right? There's some really strong layouts and strong design. Like Rob Liefeld could learn a thing or two from these pages, right? Like look at the there's backgrounds in almost every shot, except for, you know, ones where there's already been a background established. Like, do you know what I'm saying? You know? But yeah, like really, like this book is excellent. Like I was very impressed with it. And I was unaware of Chris Warner until I picked up this book. Right? Like it's really cool. And so he's on my radar officially now. And then, you know, I got the Sumptuous collection of Godzilla, 70th anniversary Kodansha. You know what I mean? You got to keep it real. That's all I'm saying. I'm out here keeping it real with these books. Yeah, like I'm a big fan of far too many things, right? Like even here, look, I'm gonna do this. This is in front of me at all times when I'm working at this desk. It's this beautiful Mark Schultz Cadillacs and Dinosaurs Xenozoic Tales. Beautiful brushed ink work. Right? Just incredible. Like none of this weird Tumblr art. None of this trash that's trash and dumb to smoke. Like real art, good stuff. Yeah, it's good. A1, hey, what's going on? A1, you missed the opening review of the Pizza Hut hot dog stuffed crust pizza. You go back and you watch that. Enjoy. Possibly, you know, think about what you've done here today. That kind of stuff. You know, God damn it. Every time I stop and talk, my pen dries up. But yeah, that's how it is. That's how it goes. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm a big fan of Mark Schultz's work as well. You know, good stuff all around. That's all I'm saying. And so yeah, like I said, her ears are gonna be highlighted in here, right? And I'll hit them with some white. Damn. Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers used Shelby's ducks while 500 people watched a doomsday clock. Shit. Shelby gonna be alright? Like, I hope he's okay. I hope that's, hope that works out for him. You know? That's all I'm saying. Yeah, watercolors. Yeah. Jay bows to Mark Schultz, and I appreciate. Listen, Mark Schultz is excellent. Like, it's really sad to me to kind of see, kind of like how everything's fallen off, right? Like, you're just like, guys, can you guys? Hey, guys, can you make a book that doesn't look like fucking shit? Guys, how did you miss what stream? Exactly. Well, I mean, a good question. Am I right? How did you miss that stream? In all the streams, right? There's probably 5 streams up right now. Oh shit. All right. Sure. Listen, I don't think Sheldon is just gonna roll in here, right? What's this? It's a bit intimidating because you never want to ruin a good sketch. You'll spend a lot of time practicing. Well, like here's the thing, though, right? Like, you're always gonna make mistakes. You're always gonna mess stuff up. The more you do it, you're just gonna mess up stuff less, right? Because like you as the artist are always going to see the little things you did wrong. But 99.999% of the people that look at stuff don't analyze it the same way you do, right? They just kind of look at it and they take in the overall image and think it's cool, right? Or they don't. I don't like, you know, but like typically most people just kind of like to see the overall image and they think like, oh wow, that's crazy cool that you made that. And then outside of that, they're just kind of like not really looking at the things where you're like, oh man, I wish I would have went a little lighter here, or I wish I went darker here. You know, whatever your initial complaint is, right? Oh yeah, Schultz on the Prince Valiant stuff. He's also a really good writer. He wrote a lot of like the, what was the Alien versus Predator versus Superman, Batman, things like that. Yeah, he's done a bunch of like really interesting stuff outside of just Xenozoic Tales / Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, right? And like I here's the other thing, Phil. Like I find for myself personally, since I was working digitally almost exclusively for like the past like 10 or 15 years, my annoyance with lines on paper is massive, right? Like, cause like if I'm working in Clip Studio or Photoshop or anything like that, listen, Buzz, we're not drawing absolute Batman. We're drawing absolute Catwoman. You know, that's all I'm saying. There's nothing, there's no shame in this game. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, right, like so like once you go to traditional, all the stuff carries over, right? Like my understanding of anatomy is the same as it is digitally, right? Like I draw, I understand how many heads a character is tall, I understand the spacing of eyes, I understand perspective, all that stuff like traditionally and digitally. The only thing that I find it annoying for me going to traditional is the paper. Like you're fighting the paper, you're fighting the tooth of it, you know, and like if, you know, you think you're pulling this nice clean line and then the paper has a little knot in it and then it just pulls your pen off just a tiny bit. You just can't go in and re-pull that line, right? You have to get the whiteout out, you have to do whatever, right? So all the techniques, I don't know if you lightbox something traditionally or do whatever, it's just a layer in Photoshop or Clip Studio, right? Like, and so like for me, the hurdle coming back to traditional has just been how fussy I am with lines, and having to let go with pulling a line and doing all that kind of stuff, and just kind of being like, well, that's the line that's there, you know, I can either address it and like maybe thicken it a bit or maybe get the whiteout out or whatever, but that's kind of the thing, you're stuck, right? And so yeah, that's the thing. Like here's the thing though, like I would say, Phil, do both, right? Like draw traditionally. Just get a big thick thing of Xerox paper and just draw on it. Just draw and sketch and do head sketches and life sketches and all that kind of stuff, or just look at, a comic book and draw like Storm from it or something, like, whatever, right? I think the key is to put in the time, right? Just keep drawing and build up that mental library, right? So that you can, when somebody asks you to do something, you can do it, right? Like, because like you'll see a lot of comic book artists that they like, I'm gonna see what I have here. Hold on. Right, like, oh yeah, they're all flipped around. Like if I went to a con, I could draw that 100 times a day, right? Like, I could draw that 100 times a day, right? Like, or that, right? Like stuff that you can just draw and bust out, right? Like, or that, I'm just trying to find a variety of things, because this was from my 31 J's of Jtober, and where's the other one at here? I'm just looking for some of the fun ones, Let's see. Oh yeah, and then I colored this boxer, like the clown. Like you can get to a point where you can just do those, right? And just put them out, and you don't really have to think about it, right? Like I could sketch those kind of things out all day, not really think too hard about it, right? And so the thing is like you just have to put in the time to do it, right? Like, so that like it's not that big of a deal for you to just kind of sit down and crack that. Because like when I was doing these, I was doing like 5 or 6 of them a stream, right? Like I would sketch it out, just like on like a blank 5x7, right? And do the inks on stream. Just quickly throw something together and see where it went, right? And like the thing is like none of it's perfect, right? Like none of it is like, like I look at like this and like, as clean and as tight as I try to keep everything, there are things I don't like about it. Things I would fix, or if I took it into like scanned it in the computer or whatever, that I would alter. I might like carve that lip out a bit more, You know, stuff like that, right? Where you're just kind of like, you kind of have to let go a little, right? Like this is a quick thing you do on stream and then you just toss it away, right? And so like that's the thing, right? Like a lot of it is just putting in the mileage and just drawing and drawing and drawing, but also like putting in the putting in the mileage, or, you know, quote unquote, doing push-ups or whatever, you know, whatever it is you want to call it. I find that like doing it without a reason is where you waste your time. Like, I would say if you're going to put in the reps, right? Put in the reps just drawing heads, right? So that you could just sit there and pump out a head, right? Like, so that you could just be like, okay, I drew that face. Okay, I drew that face. Okay, I drew that face, right? Like, okay, I drew that face. And you just pump them out, right? Like, where you can get to the point where if someone says, hey, can you draw Rogue? You can just draw Rogue. Can you draw, you know, Magneto? Can you draw Wolverine? Whatever characters you like, right? Or think you're going to get asked for, whatever, right? You just put in the time to learn faces, right? Or if you go to draw a person and you look at it and you go, man, my anatomy is fucked up. Like, my hips are too small, or, you know, I make arms too short, or the shoulders are too wide. Well, then that's where you got to start practicing, right? The things, the chinks in your armor, the holes in your net, so to speak, fix them, right? That's what I would say. Like, if you find that there's a weakness, and it's boring, right? Like, but you have to you have to make the boring stuff enjoyable. You have to almost spite it, right? Like, you're like, I'm going to get better at that in spite of it. I'm going to get better at that because it pisses me off that I'm not doing it well, right? And so you put in that time, right? And yeah, because like all of it is practice, right? And it's because like, here's the thing, right? Like, here's like, you know, people will be like, oh, so-and-so's so talented or whatever. No, it's fucking not. It has nothing to do with fucking talent. Art is about problem solving and intelligence, right? So if there are people who are good at math, and there are people who aren't. There are people who, you know, understand perspective or figuring out the area of a room, when other people, it might take them longer to get, right? And so in art, a lot of that stuff is problem solving. It's like, oh, I can't draw, you know, girls that look feminine. Well, that's a problem you got to solve, right? And then you have to look at how other people draw women in a feminine way. And then you go, oh, like, you know, there's a lot of subtlety. There's a lot of, you know, softness in the way they do it. They do less detail, et cetera, right? And you figure all that stuff out. And that's the problem solving, right? Like, you figure out the problems you have with art, whether it's anatomy or perspective or design or whatever, and then you solve them, right? And sometimes that's research, sometimes that's repetition, right? What's this? News reporters can't say chinks in the armor because it's extremely offensive, but they can say dink, which is double income, no kids. Not in the NAM, it wasn't. All right. I mean, I say chink in the armor because I don't give a fuck if somebody thinks it's racist or if it's implied. I'm not saying anything about Chinese people or Asians or anything. It's like a chink in the armor. You know? And if someone does find that offensive, that is a you problem, not a J problem. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't care. I'm kind of over and not concerned with anybody getting upset about not understanding references or an inference or an allegory or you know, just like like I just don't care. I just don't care anymore. I'm just over it. But yeah, you know, everybody needs to fuck off. Oh shit. All right, let's get in here. Get these fingers. Oh man. But yeah, right, like and that's the thing that drives me crazy. Well, no, it's the thing that drives me crazy, right? Like is your life so good that you have to be upset for other people, upset by what other people are just saying, right? Like if your life is that good that you have to find things to be upset about, get a real fucking problem, right? Like you're lucky. You're incredibly lucky, right? That you even have the opportunity to be upset about things that don't fucking matter. You know, that's it, right? Like go out there and do something good today. Don't waste people's time being upset about things that aren't important, right? What's this? Can't say that word, lame. Cancer or limb missing? What? A1, explain yourself to me. Explain whatever it is that you're saying. Explain it. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Tell me what you're talking about. I need to know. Can you not type chink in YouTube? Will it not let you type that entire word? Anyway, just fucking hell. You know, we're not talking about Asian people. We're talking about dings and flaws in armor. God damn. No, it really won't. Interesting. All right. Damn. See, that's the kind of thing that bothers me. Like blanket like censoring or bans on words. Like context is really important, right? Like to understand, like to have a back and forth, an intellectual dialogue. You have to be able to say things, right? Like, and there has to be context. Like, just because you say a certain word does not mean there's offense intended, implied, or put out there, right? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it drives me crazy that like stuff like that just blanketly gets like auto banned or whatever, right? Like, because like you just should be able to have a intellectual, civil conversation about things and not get bogged down with people just being pre-offended by things, or, you know, have that their hair trigger they're ready to pull to be upset about things. It's really frustrating to just want to be able to talk to people, and a lot of these systems and a lot of these like interactions are already like in a weird spot, right? Like, it's just dumb. It's just infuriating. Right? Because ideally, I would like to be able to have those conversations and be able to talk to people and it not be a problem, right? Like it not be immediately somebody's upset at you just for a turn of phrase, so to speak. Like, you know, because they just don't want to understand context. They don't even want to think for a moment what you're saying, right? They don't want to like have that conversation and be like, oh yeah, that's cool. Not like, oh my god, you must be racist. And it's like, god damn it. I literally just said a word that you clearly are not educated and intelligent enough to infer the meaning. You immediately jump to some kind of weird ism-ist phobicness, right? That shit just drives me nuts. It's like, I wish we could get, like, you know what's crazy? like in the early 2000s, none of this stuff was a problem, right? Like if I worked at like EB or someplace in a mall somewhere, chances are I worked with like all kinds of different people from different backgrounds. All people came into the store and there was no problems, right? Like everybody was cool. Nobody was like, oh my God, that's a black guy or whatever, right? Like I had like all these friends who were from all different cultures and nobody thought anything of it. And then as we got into like 2012, 2013 and on, it was like forced racism. Like people were acting like things suddenly got weird, and I was like, what is happening? Like I don't understand why now everybody's suddenly being like weird about stuff, when you could sit there and just have conversations with people no matter what race they were, and it wasn't weird, it wasn't stilted, it wasn't like people thought you were acting some kind of way towards, you know what I mean? Like I'm just like, what the hell? What happened? Yeah, I don't know. Just not a fan of it, I'll tell you that. Yeah, and that's always one of the things that like I've always thought was weird, was like when people were just like, oh my God, we have to like censor your speech. We have to get in there and stop you from saying these things. And it's like, what the, like, why, when did everybody become so low IQ, so offended by just conversation? That's the thing that always blew my mind. It's like, what actually are we doing here? You know, but I do think that there has been like a real dumbing down, right? Like a lot of people like want the government, they want people to take control for them. They don't want the control, they don't want the freedom, they don't want the choice, because the choice means that they are responsible, right? That they have to do something, you know, that their life is controlled by them, right? So if they fail at it, it's because they failed, right? That they didn't work hard enough, that they didn't get out there and do everything they needed to do. And I think for a lot of people, that idea of failure and is more terrifying than anything, right? Like where they're so afraid that if they don't, you know, quote unquote, succeed in life, that they are a failure. If they don't do X, Y, and Z, they're a failure, right? Like, and it's one of those things where it's just like, you know, none of that's important, none of that matters. Let's not worry about it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, a lot of this stuff does not really matter, right? Like if I'm a doctor and I die tomorrow, is anyone gonna care? No. If I, you know, any of this stuff, if I do anything, chances are a handful of people are gonna care. That's about it. You know what I mean? Like, and so yeah, it's a very bizarre thing for people to get caught up in the idea of there being a fail state to any of this, right? Like, it's like, seriously, it's not really a fail state. You know, it's you kind of put the fail state on yourself, right? As a human, you set your goals and go, hey, this is what I want to do. But really, you don't have to do, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to do anything, you know? Like, in a lot of cases, you know, you can get away with not doing very much with your life and no one really seems to care. You know, so you kind of decide you know, what you want to do, what you don't want to do, and it tends to work out that way, you know. Listen, you don't know how many lives I've led. Like, right? Like that's the thing. I could have and could do anything. Right? Yeah. Exactly. Just do that. Just find something I can talk about. See where it takes us. You know what I mean? Because the only topic I had tonight was, you know, stuffed crust pizza, right? Like that's what I came in. And I was like, hey, that's it. But yeah, like, I don't know. It's very interesting, right? Like, we put a lot of weird gimmicks and layers and levels of, you know, supposed success, and it's kind of, a lot of it just kind of trickles down to like what you want to do, right? Like, none of it really means anything, right? You know. What'd you say is the Miss Pikachu? What Miss Pikachu? What's happening? Is there a Miss Pikachu somewhere? I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing, KSS. I think it is damn near impossible that we are the only sentient, intelligent life in the universe, right? Like, if the universe is however old it is, and there are how many stars out there, and yada yada yada, like, there's so, like, you know, the odds of there being tens of thousands of other intelligent life forms out there on planets, like, you know, if the Earth is, you know, however many billion years old, and yada yada yada, and, you know, and like just weird things like where they have maps of Antarctica without ice on them. So like hundreds of years before ground penetrating radar and LiDAR and all this stuff, right? So you have to ask yourself, one of two things has happened. There was a lot of transport and movement on the Earth at some point, and or we had technology that we don't have now, right? Like, if you go with the Great Flood and the Younger Dryas hypothesis that, you know, there was, you know, Atlantis and all that kind of stuff, if there's some truth to any of that, those tales, like, in every religion, every culture has a flood myth, right? And there's a lot of stuff that goes along with that, right? And so one of two things happened. Either A, people had technology and had the technology before all that stuff was invented, and it either got wiped out or it was lost, right? Like, say, Mars, right? From all signs, Mars isn't the original planet that was there, right? Like, the original, like, Mars is the satellite / the remnants of the planet that was there, right? Just because of its size and because of, like, where it's at, right? Because there's water frozen on, all this kind of stuff, right? And so if if you can think about that way, well, hey, maybe either the Mars satellite, or if there was a planet originally, you know, in the debris, that's why we have a moon, right? Like the moon that surrounds, like, that is the satellite of the Earth, is debris that coalesced and got caught in Earth's orbit, and we have the moon, right? And so if that's the same situation with Mars, but Mars is the equivalent to our moon, that planet's gone. Maybe we came from Mars and we had that technology to escape, and that's why we have maps of things like Antarctica without ice, right? Like, they seen it from the sky, they landed, they had technology, floods and all this kind of stuff washed it all away, and then we had to rebuild again, right? Like, humanity had to come back up from the ashes, figure everything out, you know, like, because, like, you see some pretty weird, interesting stuff. Like, if you're unaware of the Antikythera mechanism that they found in an island off Greece, and it's essentially a mechanical computer, right? Like, and so that's the thing, right? Like, why were the Romans running around with these mechanical computers that essentially told them when to plant their food, told them when the eclipses were going to happen, told them all this stuff, right? Like, and so they had these really cool mechanical computers that were super accurate, were incredibly useful, and then we lost that, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we weren't just suddenly, like, you know, it's really interesting to think about, like, all these different pathways and, like, areas where suddenly there was, like, obviously technology, and then not, right? Like, and even if you want to get into, you know, religion specifically, you know, whether it's like the Ark of the Covenant or the Holy Grail or any of these things, because these people had no idea what they were seeing, who's to say that any of that stuff was, like, so wildly technologically advanced that they just didn't understand what they were looking at, right? Like, you know, if you know, it's like today, right? Like, if you went back in the past and pulled out your cell phone, that shit is magic, right? Yeah, like, it is like it's an analog computer running on gears, you know, going through all these complex calculations, like following lunar cycles, following, like, you know, astrological events, etc., right? And so you have to wonder where those ideas came from, who was building that stuff, like, who was, like, saying, like, oh, hey, you know, let's do that, right? And so, yeah, you wind up with some interesting questions, right? And Back to the Past to pull, like, yeah, like, you know, you want to see Martin Lawrence go back in time, Black Knight, you know, that kind of stuff, right? Yeah, like, that is the thing, right? Like, it's, I don't know, I think that's what's interesting about this existence and, like, everything that's going on in it, right? Where we just kind of, there's some assumptions made, and, you know, people are like, hey, this might be what happened, and you're like, hey, but what about this? And then people are like, no, and then you're like, okay, but why not, right? Like, that's the interesting part about a lot of this, is there are definitely a lot of people who are very stuck in their ways, and I just don't get the point of it, right? Like, why not be open to the conversation? Why not be open to the possibility? It doesn't mean you have to suddenly change everything about your life, but at least, like, listen and have that conversation, you know what I mean? That's the difference. Yeah, like, you know, and that's the thing, right? Like, there's a lot of, you know, stories and fables and, like, you know, little bits of truth sprinkled in all of it, right? Like, and so, like, if you look at it and go, oh, well, you know, that's interesting. Maybe they didn't know what they were looking at, right? Like, if you're describing this, well, that sounds a lot like this. And then they're just kind of like, okay, cool. That could be it. And so, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, right? And things that we thought just a few years ago have been completely, like, and utterly debunked, right? Like, and totally, you know, destroyed our belief in why things were the way they were, right? And so, yeah, that stuff's interesting. And like, my thing is like, you know, I'm not falling for everything or anything, but I'm at least interested in kind of hearing about it, right? Like, I'm just like, oh, that's kind of interesting. You know, why would we do that? Why wouldn't we do that? That kind of stuff, right? But yeah, no, I don't know, it's very interesting for sure. To just kind of be like, hey, why is everybody so stuck in this, that, or the other thing and not willing? Because I do think that's a big part of the problem with, like, politics right now, is that, like, so many people are locked in a side, right? Like, it's so tribal, and you can't have, like, the conversation about something without them being like, oh, you're a this, or, you know, you're a Trump supporter, or you're a lefty, like, you know, you're so woke. And it's like, okay, right? Like, everybody's super locked into certain, like, ideals and attitudes and whatever, and it's interesting, right? Like, it's like, but what if you just listened instead of, like, immediately firing back, right? And people just don't do that enough. Like, people just don't listen anymore when people say things. It's kind of bizarre. Doo-doo-doo. I'm listening. Rob is a bad drawer. Reading Ezekiel in the mornings. About the book of Enoch. How do you feel about Enoch? You know? How's Enoch living? You know what I mean? Get a piece of paper thing. This thing, we'll use this. Boom. Right, I'm using my Sky Surfers. There's a video game completely based off that book. And that's pretty cool. I thought it was interesting. pull all these together, all these disparate. You know. Now why are you so, you know, convinced that it's only good for sci-fi stories? You know? What makes it more or less real than any other story that's happening out there? You know what I mean? That's what I want to know. About that story specifically is only good for sci-fi, you know? Be honest, Jay. Critics, how much do they really matter to you? I've watched and read critics of all kinds, but I've never based whether I should check something out. Okay, here. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna read Phil's first, then I'll answer yours. Jay, you ever experienced Flash Play Seaman for the Dreamcast or any bizarre PS1 era Japanese games? Yes, I have a huge Japanese game collection for like Dreamcast, PS2, PS1, Sega Saturn. Yeah, like I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Seaman, you know, little Leonard Nimoy doing the voicing for Seaman and stuff like that. I have the Godzilla games for Dreamcast, Gamera 2000 for the PS1, all the Kamen Rider games, stuff like that. Huge fan. There's so many good Japanese games that never came out over here. Like, it's a crime. But, like, I've imported a ton of them, right? Okay, here's my thing about critics. I don't necessarily have to, like, agree with them. Like, back when Giant Bomb used to be a great website, right? For comics and not comics, sorry, for games, right? And so it had like Ryan Davis and Jeff Gerstmann, Brad Shoemaker, Vinny Caravella, had a good crew of guys, right? That were the reviewers and hosts and stuff of this gaming review website. Now, here's my thing. Like, now, while I didn't always agree with like Jeff, like Gerstmann, on his reviews or even his opinions, I knew enough about him as a person to understand where he was coming from if he didn't like something, right? And so I'd be like, oh, I could see why he thinks that. And, you know, because I've seen them talk about stuff or seen the games they really like. And so if you know somebody's like super into, like, say, fighting games, right? Like, they love Tekken, Virtua Fighter, Street Fighter, whatever, right? And they play all that kind of stuff. And you kind of get to know what their opinion is, and that if they say they don't like something and why they don't like something, you yourself can go, okay, but I like that. Even though he doesn't like it, I get why he doesn't like it, yada, yada, yada. So I find that that's the part about reviewers that I think is important for them and for you, is that you should be able to differentiate their opinion from your opinion and your interest, right? And so while I might enjoy watching a review by like Jeff Gerstmann or whoever, right? I've never bought a game because of anything he's ever said. Right? Like, My tastes are very specific, and a lot of it is like, oh, I love the art style of that. Oh, that action looks really cool. It looks like it plays really well, that kind of thing, right? So whenever it's like with a game or anything like that, it's more about like how I feel about it. It's more about how like it hits me, you know, in the feels, so to speak, where I just look at it and go, oh man, that looks fucking awesome, right? Like, I love this. This looks great. That is typically how I roll with that kind of stuff. But I've never, like, not once ever in my entire life, bought something because someone reviewed it positively, like, ever. That's never happened. That's never been a thing that I've ever done. Because, like, I don't know, that's the thing. Like, I think I've always been, you know, I've always had the ability to differentiate between, like, the hype and my own interests, right? Like, there's tons of games that people love and say are the greatest thing ever, and I just look at it and go, that's not for me. Like, it doesn't look interesting. I don't think it, like, it would be something I would enjoy playing, right? And my tastes are pretty specific. And so, yeah, I tend to not even slightly care about what a reviewer is saying or doing, right? Like, it's just never been an issue, right? Like, and then a lot of times, like, I'll watch, like, Red Letter Media, right? I like watching, like, they've reviewed movies that I would never even watch, right? Like, I would, like, watch the review and them talk about it because they're entertaining, right? They're interesting to hear quip back and forth or, you know, lament things, right? And so, but, like, I've never went and, like, if the movie wasn't interesting to me, I could care less if they liked it or not. I wouldn't go see it, but I would enjoy their review of it, right? Like, that kind of thing. Did you buy Donkey Kong and Mario Kart and PlayStation Robot? No, I didn't. I did not buy. I seen a trailer for Donkey Kong Bonanza, like, on, like, a Nintendo Direct or whatever, and I was like, I need that. That game looks awesome. Same with Mario Kart. Like, I actually, here's what's kind of funny. Like, I actually didn't like, I've never really been, it's weird. I've never been, like, a Nintendo guy. Because, like, I hated the N64 when it first came out. I was like, why does everything look like garbage? And why does this controller have this dumb stick in the center? Right? Because I was already playing, like, PS1 and Saturn games, right? And they just looked cooler and had a lot of, like, really interesting stuff. And, like, even when I was, like a teenager or whatever, I just looked at Nintendo stuff and it always felt kiddie, right? Like, it always felt like you were, you know, it was a game for kids, you know, and I'm cool, I'm sophisticated, I like adult things, mature games, I'm a grown ass man, you know, but I was like a teenager, right? Like, like, you know what I mean? And so, like, I was, like, wanting to play more substantial, at least in my head, more substantial work, right? And so I was like, I don't want to bop around as Mario and jump on heads and play Pokemon and stuff. It's like, I want to do cool things. I want to be a ninja and cut motherfuckers up or whatever. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, it was never, like, I was never one of those people who were like, yeah, I need to play that Mario. I need it. Needs it. I was always like, man, I want to play this, like, cool fighting game on the Sega Saturn that's like, in the 90s, I was importing Japanese games. I wasn't playing, you know, Yoshi's Island or some dumb shit. Like, I was playing Dead or Alive. You know? Like, that's kind of the thing, right? Like, I wasn't wasn't even concerned with that kind of stuff. Yeah. I love OG Ninja Gaiden, Ninja Gaiden 2, Ninja Gaiden 3. Big fan of like the kind of Ninja Gaiden on the Xbox, Ninja Gaiden Black, Ninja Gaiden 2 on the 360. You know, Ninja Gaiden 3 was the Razor's Edge one was kind of crappy because Itagaki left Team Ninja, and so all that stuff kind of went downhill once Itagaki left. So yeah, that's it, you know. But like that's also the weird thing too, right? Like even though like I grew up playing like a lot of like original Nintendo and stuff like that, I don't own that many original Nintendo games. Like in my collection, like I own thousands of games, like literally thousands of games. And I don't have a very big original Nintendo collection because I didn't like it's weird. Like there's just not a ton of games that really like make me want to go back and play them on the original Nintendo. There's Super Nintendo, there's Sega Genesis, even Master System that I love and that I have. But like it's weird, like for me the real like nostalgia, the real love, the real like when I think of video games and I want to play a video game, it's like PS1, Sega Saturn. Like it's that kind of stuff that makes me like think positively about video games, or like be like, oh man, remember this game on the PS1? Like remember like Wild Arms or you know whatever. That's the kind of stuff that I kind of go, ooh, I want to sit down and play that. Yeah, it's never like, oh, I'm gonna, I don't know, whatever random Nintendo game that you would immediately think of. I just don't think about those. They're not my sweet spot, I guess. Right? And like same with like the Dreamcast and stuff like that. Like I was just such a huge fan of that. Original Xbox, the whole bit. Yeah, oh, I still have an original Nintendo. I still have a Sega Master System, Genesis, 32X, Super Nintendo, like all that stuff. Like I still have them, but like, there's just like I don't know. Like if I was just chilling and I was like, I'm gonna fire up a game, it's probably gonna be like PS1, PS2, Sega Saturn, Dreamcast in that era, and just chill. Then I play modern stuff. Like there's definitely like good modern stuff out there, but it's not going to be my go-to. It's not the thing I'm just going to, run to. Yeah, Operation Wolf. Yeah, like, and that's the other thing. I love like a genre that's basically dead to us is light gun games, right? Like Time Crisis and like Virtua Cop and stuff like that. Like such a big fan of those games, right? Because they're just fun. Like they're just fun to like sit down and chill, and just shoot some guns at things, you know. I don't know what I was thinking. Drawing a gun. No, I'm not. I'm not even a fan of Stardew Valley is just what's that game? Harvest Moon. Stardew Valley is just a ripoff of Harvest Moon, right? Like with some multiplayer and whatnot in it. Like, it's just like whatever. And so yeah, like that's kind of it, right? Like I'm not I'm not running around being like, yeah, let's play Stardew Valley. I have one around here somewhere, Noah, but I've been moving stuff around and I don't know where it is. I have multiple rulers. Hold on. Oh yeah, here we go. I got a Picus ruler. you know, you got all kinds of fun. Don't worry about it. I'm definitely not a massive Stardew Valley fan. Here, put it this way: I've never played it. I know what it is, but I've never played it. Yeah. I mean, this would be easier because I can actually see the line I'm pulling without the shadow hitting from the DVD case. But yeah, again, I'm like sitting here, you know, drawing a P90 when I could have just had her with her hand up like this or something, like, you know, something really dumb and easy. But I'm like, I'm gonna put a P90 in her hand because I've got all fucking day to draw this dumb bitch holding this gun. Oh shit. You know how it is. You know? Yeah, it's how you gotta go sometimes, you know? Gotta get in there, do a bunch of needless detail and things. It's the best. It's the best. It really is. Yeah. Listen, I'm already winning. I had a hot dog crust stuffed pizza, you know. Pretty much nothing topping that, you know what I mean? Rob's fake cable. Temu cable. God damn. Now I have to review 3 and 4 next week. God damn. And you know what I mean? By have to, I mean I'm going to. Really have to do anything. But it entertains me. And apparently it entertains other people too, so that's cool. You know? Let's see. In terms of overall excellence in entertainment of all kinds, comics, movies, TV games, etc., about when was the last year of peak stuff? I mean, like, if you, according to William Gibson, we are all way more happy 10 years ago than we are currently. Like, he's like, you think of everything nostalgia and technology wise in a decade, but like personally, like, it's weird. Like, I don't know. I really like PS1, PS2 era. You know, that's original Xbox and Saturn and all that stuff. But the 360 was also excellent, right? Like, the 360 was that 360, PS3, Wii, that generation. The 360 was essentially the Super Nintendo of that area. It had It had everything in it, right? Yeah, I don't know. Like, because 360 time, that was like Halo 3, and you're all like in rooms with your friends and yelling and swearing and, you know, throwing down like racial slurs like they were like, you know, breathing air. And so like that was like a super interesting time, right? And you were doing LAN parties and stuff still, right? And yeah, that was 2005, 2006 is when the 360 came out. And then, like, you know, you were still getting PS2 stuff. You were still getting, like, you know, the PS3 was out. You had a Blu-ray player, you know, and it still played PS1 and PS2 games. Like, I don't know, but, like, you still were getting, like, here's the thing. I would say the most impactful era on me personally, and still is to this day, I would say would be PS1, Saturn, and Dreamcast. Like that, like, because the Dreamcast came out before the PS2 and the Xbox and the GameCube. And so it was in this midpoint and these games were super amazing, and like even and like you're not getting the like JRPGs or the survival horror games or the arcade racers or anything that were coming out on the Saturn or the Dreamcast or the PS1, right? Like you were getting like Gran Turismo and Ridge Racer, Ridge Racer 1, Ridge Racer 2, which was Ridge Racer Revolution, and then Rave Racer, and then like Ridge Racer Type 4. Like those games are still incredible, right? And then Sega Saturn, had like Sega Rally and Daytona USA and Virtua Fighter 2, Virtua Cop, like Panzer Dragoon 1 and 2 and Saga. And then on the PS1, like, you had like Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, Alundra, Wild Arms, like, this, like, it was such an incredibly exciting and impactful era for video games. And plus, because it was coming into 3D, there was a lot of people experimenting with genre, right? Like, you get Resident Evil out of that. You get Dino Crisis. You get Silent Hill. You get Nights into Dreams on the Sega Saturn. Yeah, there's so many really, like Tomb Raider, right? Like, you get that whole, like, explosion of these cool games, right? 2009, the enemy seeing things being really happy because 2009 was like everything's mostly just turning to shit. Well, my problem with everything right now, and I think it's the reason why like Gen Z and millennials and Gen Alphas and all the gens kind of following Gen X. I think that the problem is that we keep rebooting and remaking everything, right? Like there's no like, so if you're like say you have like a niece or a nephew, and they're anywhere from like 14 to 25, right? All they've grown up with is hand-me-downs from our generation, whether it's G.I. Joe, whether it's He-Man, whether it's She-Ra, like you name it, RoboCop, like all this stuff, right? Like all this stuff is just hand-me-downs for them 2 or 3 generations ago. Like nothing is theirs. Like I seriously believe that's why people actually give a shit about Absolute Batman, because it's actually kind of the first new thing for people who are seeing comics for the first time. They don't have to know all the continuity. Everything is new and fresh. And if they're reading it now, it's happening now. And they're not like getting hit with nostalgia bait that isn't nostalgia for them, right? Like, do you know what I mean? Like they're not like longing for a time that didn't exist because they never experienced it, but yet we're all running around going like, man, malls were cool and arcades were cool and cassette tapes were cool, and like you weren't around when there was no internet, and like, you know what I mean? And so they have this weird fake nostalgia fed to them. It's a very bizarre like thing to be in. And like whenever like I had to explain to my nephew that like Fortnite is eventually not going to be around anymore, right? And it was like a really hard thing for him to grasp, that like I was like, yeah, because it's all online, and as soon as they shut the servers off, Fortnite is a dead game. Right? Like it's an online, like games as a service game, and you can't buy a disc of Fortnite and play Fortnite by yourself, right? Without the internet, like, just put a disc in, play the game and chill, right? Like, but I can go pick up any PS1 game, any like Wii game, 360 disc, PS3, whatever, and just put it in and play it. No internet, nothing. Yes, it is why millennials love Harry Potter so much. It's literally their only cultural touchstone. right? Like millennials like constantly just talk about Harry Potter, right? Like because it's the only thing that exists. And then when like, you know, anything new comes out, people latch onto it. Like younger people latch onto it because they're like, oh my god, something that's new for us. The Dreamcast did have online games like Phantasy Star Online, Outrigger, Daytona USA, but they were like peer-to-peer like connections, right? Like it was like you could just race against people peer-to-peer, right? Like you just established a connection, everybody raced, and it was just that kind of thing. Or you played Phantasy Star and you played with a group of 3 or 4 people, and you could play all those games offline. Right? Like that was the beauty of like the Dreamcast and the PS2 and the original Xbox is like, and even the 360, like this is the kind of thing that bothers me about games now, right? Like even Call of Duty, right? Like in the 360 PS3 era, right? You would get a Call of Duty and you would play the campaign, and the campaign would be like, you know, some big blockbuster movie thing, and you'd be run through it. It might be a 10 or 15-hour campaign, and it was good, and you were just like, oh man, that was crazy, Ghost did this and blah blah blah, like, you know, and you were just like, this is a cool like summer blockbuster popcorn kind of video game, right? And then you could go online and pwn noobs, like, you know what I mean, like you could go and run around and shoot people and stab them and get kill streaks and do all that kind of stuff, right? And the online part was optional, right? Like you got a full game and then you could play online. Like that 360 PS3 era was great for that. You know, or like Syndicate. They rebooted Syndicate and it had this great single player game. And then it had this really cool like online co-op multiplayer. You know. Well, and and that's the thing about like the Dreamcast too, is that the Dreamcast still had games coming out in Japan and Europe, like for like a year or 2 more, right? Like there was still a bunch of games coming. It got done really dirty here. It only lasted about 2 years, and then it got done like super dirty. but there was still a ton of great games for it. That's the crazy part. Like Power Stone 1 and 2, you know, the 2 Godzilla games. There was, you know, Daytona, like. Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, like just tons and tons of really good games. Virtua Fighter 3 Team Battle, like yeah, just like there's just so many good games for the Dreamcast. Time Stalkers, Phantasy Star, like just crazy good stuff. Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, just fun stuff, just like really good fun stuff. What are we seeing here? 80% of the game I'm playing now is unplayable, and they lost 30% because they're back there. There you go. Yeah, like, and that's the thing. Like, I don't even buy games if they don't have the game on the disc. Like, you can go, there's a site called Does It Play, and they'll tell you if the game is playable and on the disc without an internet connection. And they'll say if it needs patches or whatever, right? So, like, I check a lot of those sites, and, like, or like even on the cart, like if you're talking like Switch or Switch 2 games, some of those games are like super busted until they get that day 1 patch. And I'm just like, nah. Yeah, or like D2 on the Dreamcast, amazing. Like I got to play that on stream one time. It's like crazy survival horror. But then like stuff like Resident Evil Code Veronica on the Dreamcast, also amazing. Like just, yeah, the Dreamcast had some really good games on it. Just great stuff. Yeah, Third Strike, excellent. Like it's a bit of a, you know, it's not a perfect game, but it's close. You know, it's definitely got some jank and there's some broken elements, you know, to yin and yang. But it's pretty good. You know? Don't ya know? Oh yeah, Berserk. Berserk on the Dreamcast. There's Sword of the Berserk on the Dreamcast is such a fun game. I love that game so much. And then there is a Japanese PS2 only, like exclusive to Japan, Berserk game for PS2. And then there was Berserk and the Band of the Hawk for PS4. Great games, great games. But yeah, so good, so good. Yeah, I'll pull that. Damn, you have no anus and you must scream. That's terrible. I hate that for you. You know? Gotta start. Damn. Speaking of, give me a second. I need to grab a glass of, a thing of water. I'm a little parched. Give me 2 seconds. Just walk over here. Yell at the cloud. You know. Go to my little fridge. All right, I'm back. Uranus means high heaven. All right, I'm going to continue to drink my pineapple coconut water. It's fizzy. You know? What about the anus? You know? That's all I'm saying. I'm going to finish up this line work, and then I'm going to call it a day. I like to keep my streams sub 3 hours. You know what I mean? Or at least around 3 hours max. 2.5 ideally, but there was like a PS2 Xbox era, there was a Rogue Trooper like video game. Duncan Jones made Moon. Yeah. Yeah, as soon as I seen Bowie's son, Duncan Jones, I thought of Moon. Yeah, I'm like, thing is like, I like to wait to see what things are, right? Like, I don't usually get, there was a time when they would announce something and you'd be like, man, that's gonna be cool. But now you can't get excited for anything, right? You kind of have to play that wait and see approach, right? Like you have to, like, you know, be cautiously optimistic, I guess is the best way to put it, right? Like, I like to be cautiously optimistic. You know, hope for the best, but not, you know, don't get your hopes too high with a lot of this stuff, right? Because we've seen too much to get super excited about things anymore, right? Like we've all been burned too many times to, you know, to get out there and be like, yeah, they announced a thing, it's gonna be great, because, you know, we've just been proven so many times that if they can ruin something or run it into the ground or completely miss the point, they will, right? Like, that's just the sad part about it. I wish this stuff would come out and I'd be, you know, pleasantly surprised and be like, oh yeah, that came out and was actually pretty dope. I enjoyed it. But like, yeah, I don't know. Like if something ends up being good, cool. I'm down. But so much more often than not, you know, you're kind of like let down before you just see the trailer sometimes and you go, oh god. You know? But like I don't know, it's one of those things, not everything has to be perfect either. Like sometimes a good movie can just be a good movie. It doesn't have to, you know, change the game, as it were. You know? Yeah, like, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I can't even think of the last time that I was like, oh my god, I've got to see that movie. Actually, you know what? I take that back. The last time I seen a trailer for a movie and said, hey man, I got to see that movie, was Sisu. That was the last time I went, man, that looks fucking cool. And then, if you've seen Sisu, right, and this isn't really a spoiler, but like, Sisu is a great movie that is taken down to being like a pretty good movie because of the ending. I hate the last part where he walks into the bank. That part, to me, I wish they just would have cut. It's just as he was about to walk into the door or something like that, right? Like, I didn't need to see the rest of it. I just wish he would have went through the whole movie, did all the stuff that was in the movie. That was all good. And then the last little bit of like weird comedy kind of like tainted that movie for me in a weird way. But that was one of the last times I was super stoked to actually see a movie, right? Just from the trailer alone, where I was like, oh my god, this looks awesome. You know? But yeah, that's the thing, right? Like the excitement that used to surround things, right? Like, was palpable, right? Like, and you'd just be like, oh my god, like everybody, you could feel the vibrations of the cosmos, where people were just like clearly stoked about stuff. And then now it's just so like, whatever. You know? Yeah, like, what's weird about Hail Mary is like, I don't even think I've seen a trailer for that yet. And I just see people like being like, oh my god, it's so great, it's doing so well at the theater and all this stuff. And I'm just like, okay, all right. I guess I'll have to see it at some point if it's amazing. Like, I don't know. I don't even know what it is. Like, I don't even know what the premise of the movie is. Right? Like, I know Ryan Gosling's in it. And that's about it. But according to everyone else on the planet, it's apparently a great film. And my thing is, like, today, like, is a great film a okay to mediocre film that just doesn't, like, you know what I mean? Like, our expectations are so low now from, like 10 years of just trash that, you know, is anything that's not complete horseshit, like complete garbage, is that, like, a good movie now? Because, like, you know what I mean? Like, even when we were younger, like, there was a lot of, like, I don't know, like, campy, goofball trash movies that you know, they were kind of, they weren't great, but you liked them. You know? They weren't high cinema, but they were alright. You know, like Van Damme made an entire career out of, like, movies like Hard Target and Bloodsport and all that stuff, you know, and they were good, but they weren't high cinema, you know. Grown Ups 2 was the best movie experience I ever had. The whole line. Yeah, well, that's fun too, right? Like when you go see something like a comedy or like scary movie or some kind of thing like that where the audience is good. I've been to some theaters and like the audience is like assholes, right? But then I've also like I was part of a thing for a while called Thrillima, and they would show all these like thrillers and horror movies and stuff like that at this smaller cinema, and everybody was having a blast, right? And that stuff was super fun. Let's see. You remember when Battle Angelina came out? Everyone was praising it. I was almost stoked. I saw it. It was okay. I didn't hate it, but my socks were still on. Yeah, it was okay. Like my thing with that movie is like I actually did like it. Like it was okay. It was like a solid movie. The kind of disappointment in it was that like it didn't do like they should have picked and or followed the anime, right? Like because that whole thing and her relationship, that was way more interesting of a setup. And like they you know what I mean, like they wanted to do the rollerball thing and they wanted to do all that kind of stuff, and I'm just like, can we do the anime? Like, can we take that part of Alita instead of this part? Like, I get why because if they were going to keep making movies, they would have gotten to the anime part eventually. But yeah, I don't know. Like, and I don't think, like, here's the thing. Like, I feel like if they were going to do the eye thing with her, like, give her, like, the big, like, anime expression, they kind of should have done that with everyone, right? They should have kind of like made everyone look a little more cartoony, like almost like a Roger Rabbit-y kind of thing, like where she wasn't the only one who looked that way, right? Like we could have had a little bit more stylistic impression happening with all the characters, right? Grandma's Boy is excellent. Grandma's Boy is excellent. Oh my god, I can't stop coming. Yeah, Grandma's Boy is excellent. Yeah, listen, storytelling has gotten worse. Not just movies. Like, if you look at comic books, if you look at, like, TV shows, like, storytelling has completely gotten worse. Right? Like, just, like, the whole, like, the entire hero's journey that has worked for millennia just got thrown out the window. Right? Like, just, like, that whole, like, you know, and, like, girl bosses and all this stuff, like, how can they see me? You know? Adios, turd nuggets. Yeah, like, I don't, it's just so weird, right? Like, I wish that, like, people just understood that there are certain rules in storytelling. There are certain things that work. Like, there's a reason why, like, almost every, like, Hallmark Christmas movie has the same plot with just different actors in different towns, right? Like, it's like, you know, girl gets upset, loses her job, goes back home to a small town, meets guy, they don't get along initially, but they both come together to save the hockey rink, right? And then they fall in love. And then the other Hallmark movie is girl works for company, has to come to small town that her family is from. She's embarrassed of her family, meets guy, doesn't get along, has to trick guy into selling business to big company. They find out that they love each other. She turns on the company, and then everything is okay and the small town is saved. Right? Like, they're all the same plot with just slight tweaks, right? And it's like a formula that works, right? Because it's like, okay, this happens, they don't get, and it's just like, it's a formula that works and women like it. Or it's like oh, I'm going to swap places with this girl who looks just like me and I'm going to marry the prince or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's a formulaic thing that works for a reason, right? Like, what's this here? Your Phil's here. My first job was at a duplex when we were the smallest, worst theater, but only one large area showing grandmas. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They played their trailer for Tumbling TV show and over during the Olympics, and I was like, what am I watching? I want you to get a Colbert to wear around your neck. Oh, shit. I need to watch Grandma's Boy again. I really do. And everyone happens to own a 3-story house and is an executive. Yeah. Yeah, there's a theory of there being only 37 plots and every story is just a variation of one or more of those plots. Work for thousands of years. Why change? Well, there really is, right? Like, there's really only like a handful of plots, right? And it's because they are kind of like the stories that kind of happen or the ideal way for the story to turn out, right? Like, you face adversity, you meet and defeat and stand up to the adverse thing, you conquer it, and you move on, right? You win, happily ever after. And then it's like, that there's a reason why there's a 3-act structure, right? Like there's the here's the thing. Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters movie, that script is like, the first 20 minutes of that script is like the most perfect introduction / like format for a movie, right? Like any kind of like heroic adventure kind of movie. And even though this is a comedy, Ghostbusters is a comedy movie, it still follows like the blueprint, right? Like they get together, they go to the library, right? And as they go to the library, they're introducing Egon, like, they're introducing like all their quips, right? Their character traits, like who's the leader, who's the nerdy one, who's the, like, the smart one, who's the smarmy one, like, and then they get to the library, right? And they have their first battle and they lose, right? They're not prepared for the fight. They lose and run wildly out of the library. But they leave knowing more than they did when they, like, they're like, oh shit, these readings say that, like, we could probably capture one of these, right? And, like, he's just like, oh, really? Like, and so, like, they technically lose their first battle, right? And then so they go back and regroup. And then when they come back, like, when they start getting the calls and all the stuff, and then you have the subplot of Sigourney Weaver's character, and that part kind of culminates with the entire plot. Like, they meet, the subplot meets the main plot. And, but, like, you know what I mean? When they fight, they get Slimer and they catch Slimer and they leave and they're running around doing all this stuff, right? And then by the time they get to Zool and Stay Puft Marshmallow Man and all that stuff, they're kitted out. They fought things. They've won. They, like that whole movie is so good. Like, as far as how it introduces the characters, it gets you to understand each one of the characters. It gets you to empathize with them, gets you to care about them. And then by the end of it, you're excited for what's happening, right? Like, and so, like, yeah, when you watch Ghostbusters, like, just look at, like, the format of it. Look at how, like, it is literally like a hero's journey in a very well-paced and very comedic format. But it's still, like, that same kind of thing. Like, if you just replaced those guys with like, you know, Luke and Leia and Han go into the cave, and then they get, you know, fight whatever monster, and then the monster chases them off, but then Han's like, oh, well, I found this thing, and, you know, I'm pretty sure we could kill it. And then then they go back, and their next fight with the thing, Han took that knowledge and they kill this beast, and then they move on, and then, you know what I mean? Like, the whole thing is a really good, like, if you want to steal a good plot and just insert your characters in it and remove all the ghost fighting, replace with monsters or some enemy, Ghostbusters is like a perfect plot. It's so interesting. Well, yeah. Like, here's the thing, right? And I agree, like, there is nothing new under the sun. Everything has already been done before, right? And you don't get Star Wars or Green Lantern or Flash Gordon or a lot of these things without Lensman. There's an old sci-fi book called Lensman, and basically you can look at all that stuff and go, oh, there's where Star Wars came from. There's where Green Lantern came from. There, you know what I mean? And like, yeah, like, and my thing is take everything, steal everything, right? Like, take every good idea that you see and enjoy and love and make it your own, and like, just make it so good that no one notices or cares, right? Like, because, like, I mean, if you look at Star Wars is Kurosawa films, World War II fighter jets, and, like, you know, Flash Gordon, just all rolled up into one, right? And so, like, you know, George Lucas took all those things that he loves and mashed it all together, right? And, like, that's the key, right? Like, if you're, and that's the key. I think that's also the key to creating. If you're not making something that you want to see, right, then why are you doing it? Right? You have to be making something that you're like, man, I wish this was out here. I'm gonna make something that's super cool. Like, if, like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're missing, like let's say, like, if you're like, man, I wish there was more things like Ghost in the Shell. Well, why aren't you making it? Why aren't you making more of that? There's tons of cyberpunk out there, but at the same time, there isn't a lot of cyberpunk out there, right? There's also, like, you would think there would be a lot of things like Jurassic Park or Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, but there isn't. There isn't like, right now, can somebody point me to an ongoing series where people are running around and fighting dinosaurs, like, on the reg? There's Jurassic Park, there's Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, and there was Dino Riders way back then, but right now there's not. Like, I can't even think any comic books that are ongoing that have people, like, running around in a modern, semi-modern kind of thing, and there'd be dinosaurs fighting, right? Like that kind of thing. Like, it just, you know. And I firmly believe, like, if you make something that you're really into and that you're really looking for, chances are there are like-minded people who are also looking for that, and they just, you know, they just aren't making it because they don't want to make it. Right? Like, you know what I mean? Because some people, like, and it's the thing, like, some people are just enjoyers of things, and they like to read, and they like to participate, and they like to talk about it, and other people are makers of things, right? And they want to make it and share it, right? And both are fine, right? Like, both are fine. Like, because, like, that's the thing, like, if everybody could create, it wouldn't be special, right? And if everybody couldn't create, it'd be fucking boring. You know what I mean? And so, like, there is something fun and exciting about there being nothing on this page and you putting something on it, right? That it wasn't there before, and now it is, right? And that kind of stuff is fun. It's exciting, right? And people like that, right? So if you're like, oh, I really wish, you know, there was more X, Y, or Z, or why isn't there Star Wars but cyberpunk, you know, with cowboys, you know, like, well, go fucking make it. You know, that's kind of the thing, right? Like, but like only if you're interested in making it. Like, you know, making things isn't easy. Right? There's a lot of persistence involved. There's a lot of time and effort. All right. Yeah, it's all placeholder lines. That'll be erased. There's a lot of dystopian cyberpunk out there, but there's only one tank police. Yeah, listen. Hold on. Look at this. You've come to the right place. Don't fall. Yeah. Here we are. I also have these on DVD as well. But, you know, you need the new Dominion Tank Police on VHS, you know, on these strange, funky tapes that you watch video on. I still have a working VHS player hooked up to a CRT TV just to enjoy said things, you know. Because that's what you got to do sometimes. You just need to watch some new Dominion Tank Police, and that's cool. Give me, there we go. All right. You know? And you do need to listen to Just Beyond the Time. That's true. What? You have a VHS DVD player. I haven't used it in a while. Well, now you have a very good reason to. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Why wouldn't you? Now that you know. Why wouldn't you? You know? You know? Who would I say is the best storyteller in comics? Jeez, I don't know. Like there's a lot of people who I really enjoy their work, You know, like Will Eisner, Alex Toth, Otomo, Katsura Otomo, Masamune Shiro. Like there's a ton of incredibly good storytellers, right? Toriyama was a great storyteller. Osamu Tezuka, incredible storyteller. You know, Frank Miller, obviously in there. Yeah. Oh, I would definitely say Kirby is a great storyteller. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of really incredible storytellers. Like in comics, I mean, there's a lot of terrible ones too, but like, just people who understand the medium. Alan Moore is actually a very good storyteller. Yeah, there's definitely a lot. Like, that's good. That's a good question. Let's think about that. Yeah, it's a P90. A P90. Do do do. This is clearly, I'm not sure if it's Snyder or Nick Dragotta, but her having this gun is a clear nod to Motoko Kusanagi in Ghost in the Shell. Right? This dome thing is a clear nod to Kelty from Durarara. Excuse me. But yeah, like 100%. There's a lot of nodding, happening. It'd be easier to do this. Doo-doo. Do-do-do. Yeah, like, as far as Frank Miller goes, like, I think Frank Miller's always been a way better storyteller than an artist, right? Like, the art was a means to an end for him. It wasn't the reason for doing it, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. I'm gonna fill these in. Do. This isn't Jamiroquai. Damn. Damn, Phil. You're right. What am I even doing here? Damn, Phil, you also... at the start of this stream, Phil, we had a complete review and disassembly of the stuffed hot dog crust pizza. You know? So, you missed that. All was revealed during that. You know? Twisting of the new technology. Oh, we seem to keep running from this love we had. You know? What's the secret to fixing those white gel pens that always clog up? They constantly clog up on me too, so I just do this. I mean, you could put a little alcohol. It wouldn't hurt. You know? But it might. You know what I'm saying? Doo-doo. But we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, it's just how it is. Just how it is. But yeah. Hope everything's going well tonight, Phil. You know, good to see you. Doo-doo. Doo-doo. Now I got Jamiroquai in my head. God damn it. That's not even right. You know? Mm-hmm. Complicated problems require simple solutions. You know? I think you should always do an establishing shot just to establish where the viewer expects things to be or has an understanding of where things are going forward, right? Even if it feels somewhat redundant to establish it, in the end, as long as the reader / viewer isn't confused, then you've done your job. Is what I would say. Any time that you can like remove a layer of confusion, you should always choose to spell it out over having someone go, well, where were they? Were they at the same place the whole time? I don't understand. Right? Because it's like if people look at your thing and don't understand what's going on, that's a failure on your part. Right? That's a failure as a storyteller. How's this for a comic pitch? A man gets superpowers But there's a twist. Every time he uses his powers, he loses a centimeter off his manhood. It's called manhood. Damn. That's kind of like, did you see the one that there's like some Korean one, some TV show about superheroes, and it's like as long as he has money, he can like use his power. And so it's like basically like, you know, the kind of thing like, oh, if you're just a broke boy, you don't have your powers, you know. So he has to like have money to do things. I was like, oh, that's kind of clever. And I think if I recall correctly, I think the actual like show was called Cash Hero, I believe. Yeah, listen, there's an anime about everything, like, and that's kind of what I like about anime and manga, is that they'll take a ridiculous idea and treat it seriously. They will like go all in on it, and they will know it's crazy, and they will just like act like it's not. They will just be like, nah, no. That guy with chainsaw hands, his entire reason for being is to touch boobs. Let's write a story about him trying to touch some boobs, and the reason he does everything is to touch boobs. Because that's a pretty universal, like, goal, right? Like, you know, if you're like a 16-year-old, you're like, man, I like to touch some boobs. And so, you know, you write a story about a guy who's gotten weird powers, and he just really just wants to touch some boobs. You know? Do. Yeah, it's a good time. Yep. Listen, that's just how it is sometimes, you know? You see the naked man become a naked woman, you know? Yeah. No, it's good. There's like 20 books. Exactly, right? Like, most people are like, man, I get where this kid's coming from. He just wants to touch some boobs. That's cool. You know, I think Absolute Batman would be way more popular if Bruce just wanted to touch some boobs. You know what I'm saying? How many times have I seen what? Boobs? Like, quite a few times. Like, you know what I'm saying? Do. Yeah, absolute boob man. What's funny is, like, I have a weird idea for, like, a zombie type book, but it's, like, not... It's not a traditional zombie book, but, like, I like the idea for it. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. I like the look of that. Alright. It has that Frank Miller-esque kind of thing to it, where it's just the block that the block's out. Yeah, see, listen, that's all he wants. I need my whites. Boop. Oh, you're not the good one. Here's the here's the weird thing. I have a good white one of these, and I have a a not so good white one. There we go. Mm-hmm. No. No. My zombie book is kind of like a weird flipping of the genre. And the main character's sense of who is a zombie is integral to his own view of the world. We'll put it that way. You know? No, he doesn't. Doesn't want to touch any boobs. I mean, not initially, I guess. I mean, who doesn't? You know what I mean? Like... I'm gonna have to let that dry and hit a couple layers. I guess I'll draw her face in this little piece. You know? Since for some reason I got all the way there and didn't put that little line there. Oh, that's the movie where a group of friends go bowling and they think everyone else is a zombie? No. Jay wants to zombie fight us to the death. Yeah, it's true. History of science. All right, now I want a big brush. Big brush. Mm. Yeah, I want a big bush. Mm-hmm. Do. Yeah, she's clean. That's the way I want it. Mm-hmm. And that's, I think, and that's to me is kind of the most frustrating thing is like working digitally for so long and then coming back to traditional and just being like trying to get that same cleanness in your art. This 2-page comic has become like 5 pages. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like when you said that, like I was like, oh man, like what would I do in 2 pages? Like, and I think it's a good exercise, right? Like, because like when you were telling me about it, I was like, oh man, like what kind of a story could I tell in only 2 pages? Like, what would my choices be? Like, how big or small would I have to go? Do. You know? What's this? KSS watched a video where the channel host took 7 different movie reaction channel clips reacted to the same scene. Then the Indian guy showed up and said he loved that scene. This too shall comic. If I took this Indian guy's video and kept him in the end and added myself in saying how much I enjoy this guy's reaction videos, would that make me a jerk? No, I don't think so. If it's one of those things where as soon as you start drawing, you think of more ideas you want to include because you're getting so into the right. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. Like anytime I think of that, like I'm just like, I always want to expand on the idea. Like it always gets the train rolling. Does she shoot frozen duck eggs? Damn. Yep. You seen those videos too? No. Hey, A1 is just excited, you know? That's all. That's it. All right. Okay, I gotta let that dry so it covers up. There's a couple little things I'll hit here and there to deepen it up. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me. I got all the line work down. There'll be a few things I have to like touch up, and then I'm gonna Copic it or Ohuhu it or whatever after the fact here. You know, I might stream. I might finish this tomorrow on stream. But I've kind of already went like an hour over my time, you know. But yeah, you know. Thanks, A1. You know, we're trying to, you know, get the best stuff out here we can. But yeah, maybe tomorrow, maybe Thursday. I don't know, depending on what's going on this week. I'll finish it. Maybe on stream. I don't know. Depends on the kind of time I have. But yeah, thanks everybody. I'm gonna switch over here. I take my mic with me this time. You know. All right, we're over here. I gotta move this mic out of my way. Move this. All right. Alrighty. Yeah, it's looking pretty good on the screen there. Be a little bit more detail, and I'll probably put like a reflection and stuff. Yeah, it's fun. All right. That's gonna do it for me, everybody. Hope you liked everything you saw here tonight. Like, comment, subscribe. If you're watching this and you're not subscribed to my channel, why not? Subscribe right now. Ring that bell for notification. Share it out in social media. Tell your mom about whatever it is I do here. And we'll see you next time, everybody. Have a good one. All right. Later.
I don't know, you and me are like Coke and icy. Coke and icy. Together, two and two, it will become yummy. Oh, so yummy. You want me, make you happy. I need you right now, honey. Love is okay, but not in a homo way. No homo. I know this sometimes, see, we do talk like a baby. Talk like baby. Finally, I know this, you love me like you love mommy. Love your mother. Coca cannot live, I see. Love you like sugar daddy. Motherfucker, love is okay, but not in a homo way. I don't know, you and me are like Coke and icy. Coke and icy. Together, two and two, it will become yummy. Oh, so yummy. You want me, make you happy. I need you right now, honey. Love is okay, but not in a homo way. No homo. I know this sometimes, see, we do talk like a baby. Talk like baby. Finally, I know this, you love me like you love mommy. Love your mother. Coca cannot live, I see. Love you.
Women.